Hey there, hello there, Shukra Diver. Welcome you back to the actual gameplay video that I've did. The last video you saw was the how I decided to do 32 teams spread out over 11 seasons that Stone Cold Hockey, NHL seasons that Stone Cold Hockey gave me. So it was 3 per thing, except for one. I only had 2. But anyway, so the Stanley Cup winners got spots 1 to 11. So the guys from 1 to 11 were the Stanley Cup champions from the seasons that were done and all that. You see a lot of Montreal, you see Kings, Pittsburgh with 1, Colorado, Rangers, Philly, Vegas, Edmonton, Carolina. From 12 to 22, the runners-up of those 11 seasons got randomly selected. And from 23 to 32 is a third-place team, either a team that lost in the semifinals in said season or a team that should have done something. So 23 seed are the 94 Leafs, who should have went to the Stanley Cup Finals and taken care of Vancouver in the Conference Finals. The 2022 Oilers are next. They lost in the semis to Colorado. They were trying to give Canada a Stanley Cup. The 65 Leafs are there. They were the 3-time defending Stanley Cup champions. The 2023 Bruins for the 23 season, because, it's 65 wins. 71 Bruins for, their power in 71, and then they couldn't get past the Habs in the first round. 68 Kings, because they were the team that lost were the best team in the West of the expansion teams in the regular season. The 06 Red Wings, who were looking good to make the finals, but Edmonton beat them in the first round. The 2012 New York Rangers, who lost in the semis to the Devils. The 91 Blackhawks, who looked good in 91, but somehow the North Stars tripped them up. And the 84 Habs, because they came back they were up 2 games to none on the Islanders in the conference finals, but lost the last 4. So anyway, by randomization, these are your matchups. The 68 Habs take on the 84 Habs. The 65 Habs take on the 91 Blackhawks. The 71 Habs take on the 2012 Rangers. The 2012 Kings, against the 2006 Red Wings. The 91 Penguins against the 68 Kings. The 22 Avalanche against the 71 Bruins. The 94 Rangers against the 23 Bruins. The 75 Flyers against the 65 Leafs. The 23 Golden Knights against the 22 Oilers. The 84 Oilers against the 94 Leafs. The 06 Canes against the 06 Oilers. That was just randomization, people. The 71 Blackhawks take on the 2012 Devils. The 94 Canucks take on the 68 Blues. The 65 Hawks take on the 75 Sabres. The 2022 Tampa Bay Lightning take on the 2023 Florida Panthers. And the 91 North Stars against the 94 Islanders. So we're going to just simulate any series that goes to a Game 3. This is best of 3. The Sweet 16 is a best of 5. And I think I set it up. Where did I set it up? I think it's 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, right? Yeah, and then I set it up. I think the Elite 8 is either best of 5 or best of 7. But anyway, so we're going to autoplay. And the 68 Habs win the game 3-2. Richard Sevigny was in net against Gump Worsley. And Gumper won. The 84 Habs got goals by Guy Lafleur. Yeah, he was still around at that time with both goals. Claude Provo, Jacques Lemaire, and Jean Beliveau. Gentleman Jean Beliveau with the winner 3-2. The 71 Habs beat the 2012 Rangers 5-2. Vachon beat Lundqvist. Ken Dryden didn't play in the game, but Rogie Vachon was part of the 71 Habs. 5-2 Montreal. Goals by Bobby Sheehan, John Ferguson Sr., Pete Mahovlich, John Ferguson, and Pete Mahovlich. So John Ferguson scored twice. And he was responsible for being general manager of the Rangers in the 70s. The 2012 Rangers got goals by Marion Gaborik and Ryan Callahan. Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, upset. The 68 Kings with a 6-2 win over the 91 Penguins. Terry Sachuk, he was the goalie for the Kings, taken from the Leafs in the expansion draft. Beat the 91 Penguins and Tom Barrasso. So Pittsburgh scored first 2 goals, Yager and Stevens, but the Kings scored 6 straight. Ted Irvin, the father of Chris Jericho. Gray, I don't know what his real name is. Raul Lemieux, Eddie Joyal, and then 2 goals by Lowell McDonald. So that's a big upset right now. The 2023 Bruins beat the 94 Rangers 5-3 in Game 1. As Lions Omar beat Mike Richter. Boston goals by Patrice Bergeron, Jake DeBrusk, Hampus Lindholm, DeBrusk again, and Charlie Coyle. Ranger goals by Brian Leach, Mark Messier, and Adam Graves. Doing their job. Poor Rangers, I feel so bad for them. The 2022 Oilers beat the 23 Vegas Knights 4-1 as Koskinen beat Johnny Quick. They put Johnny Quick in the net. Vegas did score over Jack Eichel, but then Bob Perlini, Sevisor, Evander Kane, and Zach Hyman scoring for the Oilers. The 06 Canes won 3-2 as Gerber beat Markkinen, the battle of the 06 finalists, which they randomly got drawn against each other. Edmonton goals by Ryan Smith and Alex Hemsky. Carolina goes by Andrew Ladd, Nick Wallin, and Eric Stahl. 94 Canucks went 5-3 in Game 1 as Kay Whitmore beat Seth Martin. St. Louis goes by Jimmy Roberts, not the commentator. Jerry Melnick and Tim Ecclestone. Vancouver goes by Pavel Bure, Trevor Linden, Martin Jelena, Cliff Ronning, and Don Jackson. The 22 Lightning went 3-1. Vasilevsky beat Spencer Knight. Tampa goals by 2 goals by Stamkos, 1 by Sorelli. Florida's goals by Carter Verhaeghe. The 84 Islanders beat the 91 North Stars, and you're thinking, hang on, is that an upset? Yeah, it's a little bit of an upset. But yeah, the 84 Islanders won on the road. Billy Smith beats John Casey. Islander goals by Bob Bourne, Anders Killert with 2, and Eddie Potvin. Doug Smale for the 91 Stars scored. 75 Sabres won 3-2 over the 65 Blackhawks. Gary Bromley beats Glenn Hall. Buffalo goals by Rick Dudley, Craig Ramsey, and Richard Martin. Blackhawks goal by Eric Nestorenko and Bobby Holland. The 31 Blackhawks won 3-2 against the 2012 Devils as Jerry Desjardins beat Martin Brodeur. Devil goals by Ilya Kovalchuk and Adam Henrique. Chicago goes by Pitt Martin scoring twice and Dennis Hall. And yeah, Bobby Hall was on that team. The 94 Leafs went 8-5 over the 84 Oilers. Big win. Potvin beat Bogue. What a disaster for goal scoring. Well, 2 goals by Ken Linsman for the 84 Oilers and 2 goals by Dave Anderchuk of the Leafs. The Leafs' other goal scorers, Bill Berg, Amy McCowan, Mike Eastwood, Wendell Clark, Nick Borshevsky, and Mike Gartner. The 84 Oilers, Ken Linsman, Kevin McClelland, well, Linsman scored twice, Gretzky, and Yari Curry. But the Leafs went 8-5. Unbelievable. That's an upset. The 65 Leafs beat the 75 Flyers 3-2. As Suchak took down Bernie Perron. Philly was up 2-0 when goals by Gary Dornhofer and Russ Lonsberry. But the Leafs with Dave Keon with 2 goals and Kent Douglas scoring. The 22 Avalanche shut out the 71 Bruins. Wow. Cheevers losing to Darcy Kemper. Colorado goals, 5 different goal scorers. Sherwood, Gabe Landeskog, Kitchener, Nazem Kadri, Kitchener, Nikushin, and Nathan McKinnon. The 06 Red Wings with the shutout of the 2012 Kings 3-0. Osgood took down Quick. That's Luke Samuelson and Holmstrom scoring. Well, anyway. Finally, the 91 Blackhawks shocked the 65 Habs 5-3 as Belfort beat Charlie Hodge. Chicago goals by Jerry Roenick, Steve Thomas, Steve Larmer, Roenick. So Roenick with the hat trick. Montreal goals by Shangi Talbot, Ralph Backstrom, and Claude LaRose. So everyone's done one game. So let's just go to game 2, all the game 2s. The 68 Habs sweep the 84 their 84 brethren 3-1. Worsley beats Savigny again. Perry Turnbull scored for the 84 Habs, but goals by Bobby Russo, Jean-Claude Tremblay, J.C. Tremblay, and Jacques Lemaire sunk them, and the 68 Habs win, eliminating number 32. I'm just random. The 68 Kings with the sweep of the 91 Penguins. That's a big win for the Kings. 4-2, Sawchuck beat Wendell Young. Pittsburgh decided to go with that. Kitchener's Wendell Young. Pittsburgh goals by Peter Tangulani and Randy Gilhan. But the Kings goals were by Teddy Gray, I guess. Henry Menard, Gray again, and Brian Smith. So Gray with 3 goals. Who the heck is this guy? I've got to know. Terry Gray. Okay, that's who the guy is. Okay, so let's skip ahead to Game 2. The 23 Golden Knights. Edmonton had a chance to win on home ice, but overtime heroics by Vegas as Logan Thompson beat Mike Smith. Vegas had a 2-0 lead on goals by Brent Howden and Riley Smith. Edmonton tied it up on 2 Connor McDavid goals, and Alec Martinez made it 3-2 Vegas. Kyler and Yamamoto tied it up, but in overtime it was Teddy Bluger at 5:46 from Kessel and Eichel. And we got a Game 3. Guess what? We were going to be playing that series. The 06 Oilers are forced to Game 3 against Carolina, 3-2 in overtime. Marketing beats Gerber. Carolina was up 2-0 on goals by Eric Stahl and Kevin Adams, but Ryan Smith with a pair in the third to tie it, and then Jason Smith from Stales and Ulanov made it 3-2 for the Oilers. The 94 Canucks with the big win in St. Louis 4-1. Kurt McLean beats Seth Martin, and the 94 Canucks are moving on. They scored the first 3 goals. Danny Merson, Pavel Bure, and Trevor Linden. St. Marseille scored for St. Louis, but then Vancouver got empty netted by Bure. 4-1. Let's go to this one. The 75 Sabres, they sweep the 65 Hawks in the battle of the runners-up. Overtime heroics. Roger Crozier beats Glenn Hall. Buffalo was up 2-0 goals by Rich Martin and Gilbert Perreault. Chicago got a goal by Dennis Hall. Then Danny Gare made it 3-1. Bill Hay and John McKenzie, I guess it is, tied it up. But in overtime, Craig Ramsey, a second of the series from Perreault and Martin, made it 4-3, and the Sabres are going to move on. The 2012 Devils have forced a Game 3 with the 71 Hawks, 5-4 in overtime. Johan Hedberg beat Gary Desjardins. Devils scored first on a goal by David Clarkson. Kitchener. Jerry Pinder tied it up at 1. Peter Sikora, Igor Kovalchuk, and David Clarkson made it 4-1 Devils. But Chicago, 3 goals in the third period. Jim Pappen, Chico Mackey, and Lou Ngati. But the overtime goal by Darius Subers from Josefson and Elias. So they force a Game 3. The 94 Leafs with a sweep of the 84 Oilers. I didn't think that happened. 94 Leafs, who should have been in the Stanley Cup Finals instead of Vancouver, take down the 84 Oilers, who won the Stanley Cup 6-2. Potvin beats Bogue. Edmonton did score goals by Moose, Messier, and Glenn Anderson. Ironic enough, because Glenn Anderson left the 94 Leafs for the Rangers in that trade. But the 94 Leafs, 36 goals. Dave Andrechuk, Peter Sezel, Andrechuk again, Mike Krushelewski, Dmitry Mironov, and Rob Pearson. Basically has-beens, if you will, in the third period. But the Leafs sweep the Oilers. Big win for them. And then the 91 Hawks, they sweep the 65 Habs, who were Stanley Cup champs. The 91 Hawks actually were shocked in the first round by the North Stars, as Belfort beat Charlie Hodge. Montreal did score Bobby Russo and Dick Duff, but Chicago goes by Doug Wilson, Jeremy Roenick, Michel Goulet, Greg Gilbert, and Mike Hudson. Gilbert and Hudson would both be, ironically, part of the 94 Rangers. But yeah, the Hawks with the big sweep, they will actually face the 68 Habs, because it's reseeded. So the 91 Hawks have a second Habitat team to worry about. Game 2, the 71 Habs, they beat the 2012 Rangers 4-2. Dryden beats Lundqvist. Ranger goals by Brad Richards and Ryan Callahan, but the Habs goals by Sean Balivo, Yvan Cournoyer, Guy Lapointe, and then Cournoyer again to ice the 2012 Rangers. The 23 Panthers with a 5-3 win on home ice to force Game 3. Knight beats Vasilevsky. Tampa goals by Stamkos, Kucherov, and Patty Maroon. But Florida goals Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe again, Verhaeghe with the hat trick, and Matthew Tkachuk. 5-3. We're just going random. The 65 Leafs upset the 75 Flyers 3-1. So big upset there. As Wayne Stevenson lost to Johnny Bauer. Toronto scored first for Tim Horton. Yeah, that Tim Horton. Reggie Leach scored for the Flyers, but the Leafs with 2 goals by Ron Stewart and Red Kelly sunk the 75 team. The 2012 Kings go into Detroit and win 3-2 and force a game 3 back home. Bernier beats Legacy as Detroit goes by Kirk Maltby and Brandon Shanahan, but the Kings scored Dustin Brown, Justin Williams, and then Dustin Brown again. The 94 Rangers with the upset over the 23 Bruins in overtime 3-2. To force a game 3, Richter beats Swayman. So Boston goes with a different one. Boston scored first, Tomas Nosek, but the Rangers pair goals by Steve Larmer and Asa Tikkanen. But the Bruins, 7 seconds left, Hall tied it. But 30 seconds in overtime, Graves from Mateau. And the Rangers have forced a game 3. The 84 Islanders with the sweep of the 91 North Stars. The Cinderella North Stars couldn't do anything. John Casey losing to Billy Smith. Minnesota goes by Brian Bellows, Kitchener, Dave Gagne, and Mike Modano. Aller goes by Pat LaFontaine, Daryl Sutter, Mike Bossy, and Mats Holland. Is that the guy's name? I really want to know. I truly want to know. Mats Holland. Yeah, Mats Holland. Alright, I got it right. Yay. Alright, and the 71 Bruins have forced a game 3, winning 4-3 over the 2022 Avalanche. As Eddie Johnston beats Darcy Kemper, Boston scored the first 2 goals, Johnny Busick and Don Marcotte. Colorado did score the next 3. Nick Galushin, Abe Kubo. I didn't know he played for the Avs. I thought he just played for the Knights. And Gabriel Landeskog, Kitchener. But Boston scored 2 goals, Esvel and Marcotte. So we have a lot of series. How many series? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 series ended in 2, and we have a tie. Alright, so we are going to go to New York. First game is the 7-seed 94 Rangers against the 26-seed 23 Bruins. Series tied 1-1. Yeah, 65 wins in real life. The Rangers 52 wins in real life. It is going to be Richter versus Swayman. Richter and Healy, the goalies for the Rangers. Allmark, Swayman, and Kincaid for the Bruins. The 94 Rangers winning the Stanley Cup in real life against Vancouver. The 2023 Bruins were looking to win the Stanley Cup in real life, but they freaking fell to the Panthers in the first round. So that's why they got one of those wildcard spots. So the 23 Bruins have David Pastrnak, Patrice Bergeron, Jake DeBrusk, Brad Marchand, Pavel Saka, Trent Frederick, David Krejci, Charlie Coyle, Taylor Hall, Hampus Lindholm, Nick Foligno, Charlie McAvoy, Tomas Nosek, Connor Clifton, Derek Forbort, AJ Greer, Matt Grzelcyk, Dmitry Orlov, Tyler Bertuzzi, Jakub Local, Gardner Hathaway, Brandon Carlo, Mike Riley, and Jakub Saboril. Just checking the clock. So we're going to be doing the Rangers, the 94 Rangers that I did in a Rangers replay. But I had Graves, Mark Messier, Brian Leach, Alex Kovalev, Esa Tikkanen, Sergei Nemchinov, Steve Larmer, Tony Amonte, who shouldn't be there because I think Amonte went to the Hawks, didn't he? Sergei Subov, Jeff Bokaboom, Kevin Lowe, Greg Gilbert, Mike Hudson, Stefan Matteau, Glenn Anderson, Brian Noonan, Craig McTavish, Alex Karpetsov, Nick Kipriels, Ed Olszczuk, Jay Wells, and Joey Kosher. So here we go. 3 minutes into the period. Chance for Nick Foligno. No. 5 minutes later. And a penalty on the Bruins. It's Frederick for 2. Can the Rangers capitalize? But they get penalized too. Kipriels for 2 minutes. Ay. Why would you have him in the power play? So open ice action. Bruins with a chance on the power play. Frederick. 3 minutes later. Lots of a chance. Bergeron. Last moments of the first period. And Joey Kosher had a chance for a shot. No score through 1. First 2 minutes of the period. Aggression. And it's a 2-minute penalty on Lowe. An attack makes the Bruins' attack go a little lower. So Kevin low in the box for 2. Bruins with a chance. Coyle. Oh, yeah. Shot skill. Pop power play. Charlie Coyle. Tesla Coyle from Tyler Bertuzzi and Dmitry Orlov. 1-0 Bruins. 3 minutes later. Bruins again. Hall. Oh, yeah. Counter. Bruins got another Chetsky or Jakey DeBrusk. That's Brusk, baby. His third from Krejci. 2-0 Bruins. 4 minutes later. Rangers Messier. 4 more minutes. And a penalty on the Bruins. Hampus. Lindholm for 2. And the Rangers will get us? Yes, they will. Score. Power play. Woo! His second from Graves and Leach. 2-1. I think so. And that will be it for the game after 2. The Bruins 2. The 94 Rangers 1. 2023 Bruins trying to get through to win a playoff round. Ha ha ha. First 2 minutes of the third period. Rangers Chetsky. Oh! When the goal hits the net, that's like pizza pie. That's a Monte. His first of the postseason from Low and Tikkanen. 2-2. 3 minutes later. Rangers. Farmer delivers a hit. 5 minutes later. Aggression. And the Bruins get a penalty. It's Connor Clifton? Anyway, Rangers. Chance. Power play. Tikkanen. Chance. Tikkanen. I got killed off. Clifton. Connor Clifton, yeah. 5 minutes later. Rangers to a chance. Graves. We're getting close, and the Bruins get penalty. Tomas Nosek. Is this the chance for the 94 Rangers to advance? Zubov gets hit. We got overtime. 2-2 tie. Rangers power play an opportunity for the win. Come on. No. Chance for the Bruins. DeBrusk. Oh, saved by Richter. Aggression. And the Bruins are going to go penalty. It's Marchand, the rat. Can the Rangers take advantage? Yes, they will! Score! Overtime heroics! Brian Leach! At 11:04 of overtime, the 94 Rangers take out the 23 Bruins. Zubov and Messier with the assist. But more importantly than that, the 23 Bruins, their 65 wins, didn't matter again. And the 94 Rangers with a gigantic upset of sorts. Swayman loses to Mike Richter. The Rangers did their job. Bruins goals by Coyle and DeBrusk. Ranger goals by Larmer, Amonte, and Leach. What a job. So let's go to, we're going to do one more. Let's go to Chicago Stadium. And it will be the battle of the big boys. Espel versus Brodeur. Chicago needs it. It's the 71 Blackhawks, against the 2012 Devils. Both these teams lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. The 2012 Devils to the Kings, who somehow won the Cup as an 8 seed. And the 71 Hawks losing to the 71 Habs, who were kind of a Cinderella of their own. So anyway, the Hawks, Espel with Jerry Desjardins, Gilles Meloche, and Ken Brown in net. Devils have Brodeur or Johan Hedberg. Devils have Ilya Kovalchuk, Zach Parise, David Clarkson, Kitchener, Patrick Elias, Peter Sikora, Dana Subras, Adam Henrique, Alex Ponikarovsky, Mark Bay, Ryan Carter, Nick Palmieri, Adam Larson, Anton Polchenkov, Jakob Josefsson, Marek Salicki, Travis Sajak, Andy Green, Matt Toromina, Steve Bernier, Matthias Tenenby, Bryce Salvador, Hendrik Tellender, and Peter Harreld. Other side, the Blackhawks with Bobby Hall, his brother Dennis, Stan Mikita, Pitt Martin, Chico Mackey, Jim Papin, Brian Campbell, Cliff Corral, Jerry Pinder, Dan Maloney, Lou Angotti, Eric Nestorenko, Pat Stapleton, Bill White, Jerry Corran, Danny O'Shea, Keith Magnuson, Doug Jarrett, Paul Schmier, Larry Romanicic, and Rick Foley. Here we go, from Chicago Stadium. Shaskur! Danny Maloney from Nikita. And Nikita's Donuts with the pass, and the Hawks up 1-0. 5 minutes later. Let's go! Chico and the man! Maki! The second from Mangati and Campbell. I know Brian Campbell, who's a defenseman for the Sabres. And the Hawks will take a penalty. Papan. Well, can the Devils come back from it? Pano? No. Another chance for the Devils. Palmieri? Aye. 2 minutes later. Devils Ponoreski? No. And the Hawks have a 2-0 lead after 20. 4 minutes later. Devils a chance. Larson? No. I gotta go quickly. Parise? Bill White trying to score. No. 3 minutes later. Well, Salvador will have to take a 2-minute call. The Hawks, Brian Campbell almost scored. Can the Hawks make it 3? Yes, sir. Papa power play. Chico and the man, his third of the series from Nesterenko and Romanicic. 3-0 Hawks. This is disastrous for Brodeur. And the Devils are going to take a dumb penalty. 10-B for 2. And the Hawks had a chance. Pitt Martin had a chance to make it 4, but now Campbell's in the box. 4-on-4. Sakura had a chance, but he couldn't. Devils power play? Yes! Score! Patty, yes! His first of the series from Kovalchuk and Volchenkov. And it's 3-1, so the Devils have a goal. And a penalty. Sakura will take a penalty. Yikes. Can the Hawks get their 3-goal lead back? Stapleton? No. Segment killed. And the Hawks are 1 period away from knocking the 2012 Devils out of the playoffs. 2 minutes into this period. Both teams have been hit. Pano got hit. And the Devils will take a penalty. Supras is in the box. Can the Hawks score? With that they will. Denny Hall. He's not like his slapshot wielding brother, but he scores for Nikita and Campbell. And the Hawks have a 4-1 lead. 4 minutes later. And the Devils again with the penalty. Sajak for 2 minutes. Can the Hawks score? Brian Campbell? No. Hawks again. And Goody. Hawks with a chance. Papan. 3 minutes later. Chance Papan again, and he missed. 3 more minutes. And that'll do it. The Hawks with a 4-1 win. They knew they needed Espo in this game. Verdure could not produce, and the Hawks will move on to round 2. 2 goals by Chico Mackey, 1 by Dan Maloney, and 1 by Dennis Hall. Elias scored for the Devils, but too little, too late. And the 71 Blackhawks win the series 4-1. Well, the home teams won all 3 of those games, and they were close ones. The first 2 were close, but not that one. So we will be playing more games. So tomorrow's video will have the rest of the first round game 3s. We have a game 3 between Vegas and Edmonton. We have a game 3 Carolina versus Edmonton. We have a game 3 Tampa versus Florida. We have a game 3 from Colorado and Boston, and LA Detroit. So 5 game 3s will be played. Will all the home teams win their game 3s? We don't know. And we do care somehow. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond Ado.